What's good, everyone? It's Mikey T, the movie star, and I've got my guy, Philly's own SV Twizz, man. SV Twizz, I want to thank you for joining me on the channel tonight.
Thanks for having me, bro. Thanks for having me.
Yep, this is actually our second episode, and tonight we're going to dig into the future of OBH, as well as the last project that ARAB was preparing to work on before his incarceration.
Heavy. That's heavy right there. Let's talk about it.
So, Twizz, in one of our first conversations, you actually explained to me how ARAB and Beanie Sigel are relatively similar artists. Why do you think personally that it took so long for the two of them to eventually connect?
Well, definitely, I feel as though, like, at the time of ARAB uprising, Beanie Sigel was at a point where, he didn't got shot and everything, lost his voice. So he was on top of him, recovering and appreciating life and things of that nature. He also was spending, like, if people paid attention, he was spending a lot of time with family. He was like off of music, but him and Ab always had, a relationship behind closed doors, even though they never got a chance to really do no type of feature or anything.
Yep, that's true, man. I just wanted to touch on that a little bit because a lot of people probably remember that Beanie Sigel had actually went to ARAB's block just weeks before ARAB's incarceration. Beanie Sigel had gone to Ab's block and basically stood alongside him and co-signed him, even after all the speculation of what was going on with Meek and Ab, where was Beans going to stand. Beans eventually went to Ab's block and said, yo, we're going to do this together. This is the bully. You know what I mean? This is the Broad Street bully and the goon. The bully meets the goon. What was your take seeing all that, Twizz, before I get into ARAB's message directly about that?
Man, I feel like it was beautiful for the city, beautiful for the culture. And, I know that it touched Ab heart, you know what I mean? For Beans to be one of Ab favorite rappers. And when it comes to Philly rappers, I know for a fact that Ab spoke plenty of times of Beanie Sigel being his favorite rapper.
Yep.
From those of us that's from Philly and, in the tri-state, Beans was like, he hit your heart in that place. So for Ab, for Beans to pull up on Ab block like that and was like, I'm giving you the crown, like, that was super heavy right there, super heavy. And if Ab wouldn't have been in the unfortunate situation that he was in, I can pretty much bet my last dollar that we would have heard at least 3 tracks from Ab and Beans by now.
Wow, that's crazy, man. And this is actually what ARAB had to say. ARAB wrote me a message and said, Beans is my favorite rapper, and he knows that. I've been wanted to do a song with him, but I guess he was caught up with his own issues and didn't have the time. But when he came to my block with a friend of mine's named Young Pick, who also raps, salute to Young Pick, we really got to talk. We were planning a mixtape and a possible tour. So speaking as a Philly representative, Twizz, I just want to get your overall reaction to that. Ab said that Beans came to his block. They were really able to talk, and then they were planning a possible mixtape and a tour.
That would have been real heavy for the city because for those of us that know, Beans and State Property, like, they were carrying the torch late 90s, early 2000s. And within that time gap, we had like the DVD era and everything of that nature. But when AR came on the scene, he came on the scene how Beanie Sigel was with State Property. Beanie Sigel to State Property was AR Ab to OBH. That's why I always labeled OBH the modern day State Property. For those two to collide, that's what the city would have needed. That's what the world would have needed. AR was one of the main people with them two on the track. Like, it would have been nothing but pain, on those tracks. And I would have loved, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have loved to see those two guys perform together, and pretty much, it's like a Ab on top of Ab paying homage to Beans. Beans is also paying homage to AR for being the new upcoming version. I'm pretty sure Beans see a lot of traits in AR that he saw in himself coming up. So, I feel like Beans would have been a real important factor, you know what I mean, to being there on the side of Ab on top of what he was already doing.
You know, Ab said that he didn't know why they didn't connect earlier, stating, I guess he was caught up with his own issues. You know, I guess you could say, between the record labels, between the jail time, and like you said earlier, getting shot, these are some of the things that kept them apart. Did you want to elaborate on that anymore, Twizz, on why you thought that it took them so long to unite?
Definitely, just a bunch of real stuff. Because on top of what Beans went through, Ab went through a lot. Let's not forget that Ab got hit 10 times and things of that nature. Because Ab been lit in the city, and Beans been knew who AR was. So even Ab sat down a little time before what he did, like 3 years or something before his situation now. And he was also building his own empire and putting a lot of artists up under him. And that it's a lot. Like, somebody like Ab, we might see him and be like, yo, yeah, he make it look easy. But Ab don't really talk, he never talked about too much about how hard it is, to play the position that AR was. Because somebody like AR, you got 100 people coming to you, hey, I rap, I do this, I do this. So it was up to him to pick and choose on, you know what, I'm gonna give you a shot. So Ab had a lot on his plate on top of Sieg.
Now, to get a mixtape with AR Rab and Beanie Sigel would be one thing. Like you said, you could imagine they would have already had like 3 records out, maybe more at this point, probably the whole tape. And seeing those two actually perform together, it would have been amazing. I could only imagine an OBH and state property tour. It would have had to been all the state property guys, the Young Guns, Oskino, Freeway. But then OBH, it would have had to be Ab. It would have had to be, you know what I mean? Dark Low, Leak Moss, these guys, Skinny Me if he was out, Little Johnny. So yeah, some of the new blood that Ab had brought along. So yeah, a tour would have definitely been major. A tour would
It
have
would have
definitely
been
been major.
it would have been legendary. All the names that you mentioned, and you saying all of them together, man. That thing would have been crazy. It would have been beautiful, and it would have been on top of what Ab and OBH was doing for the city. That would have lifted this up even 1,000% more. With those two teams combining like that, that would have been heavy.
So Twizz, we also have to address Ab letting me know who he's locked up with. First, I just want to get your take on when Ab wrote me this message and he said, yo, bro, I'm up here with some of the guys 6ix9ine told on. This jail is mostly New York and DC dudes. They basically run this joint. Philly is the minority. For everyone that doesn't know, Ab is currently incarcerated at the USP Allenwood. I will have the information to write ARAB in the description for everybody that wants to write him. And be sure to send an email address or a phone number when contacting him so he can message you back rather than write a letter. But Twizz, what's your reaction to that when Abbott hit me up and said he's actually locked up with some of the members of Treyway that Snitch Boy told on?
Damn, that's heavy, and that just shows you how small of a world it is, man. And on top of that, with Ab being in the situation he's in, and with the Treyway sturdy members that's in there being in the situation that they were all on like high levels, and I'm saying one bad person out the team, I can't really word it, took down the whole empire. You know what I mean? So it's just super heavy. And man, like all of them definitely free all of them. You know what I'm saying? They all sturdy. And God's willing, man, they can all work on getting the pills and getting out back to their families and also to their fans, you know, as soon as possible, man. But that's heavy right there.
So it goes a little bit deeper, Twizz, because I did a little bit of research. I said, "You're with one of the Treyway guys?" So then I went and did some research looking up the 12 people or so that were indicted in that case and where they had got sent to, you know, federal lockdown. I said, "You're with one of the guys from Treyway." I said, "Looking at the list of 12 people indicted, they all got shipped to different jails except for Shoddy and ALLENWOOD Medium and Drama, who went to Max. But Drama is actually getting out in 2023, being that he was sentenced to 60 months in jail." So Ab hit me back and said, "Yeah, I'm here with Drama right now. We're going to start an OBH Brooklyn chapter together. I'm
Damn.
working, bro. I'm going to turn OBH Records into a powerhouse." Before we get into anything further with that, I just want to get your general reaction to Ab possibly working OBH and Treyway. Salute to Drama.
Salute the Drama, man. First, I gotta say this, bro. Like, for Ab to be in the situation that he's in, where a situation where a lot of men, they would have folded, they would be sitting crying every day. You know what I'm talking about? Going through so many emotional roller coasters. For him to still worry about the empire that he built and further in it, you're talking about with stretching it out more and connecting with someone that's coming home, you know, that's coming home soon. That just shows you what type of soul and heart and type of mind AR Ab got. You know, that just shows you that he's a different type of person. That's first and foremost. Secondly, to combine with Brooklyn, a lot of people that I know from New York, they say like North Philly and Philly period is like, you know, they compare it to Brooklyn as far as the lifestyle and things of that nature. That would be great for the culture. You know, we would love to see that, man. You know what I'm saying? That would be a beautiful thing right there. So, you know, God's willing, they make that happen, man. And free Drama, like, you know what I'm saying? When he come home, can't wait to see how everything would play out, man. Salute to him.
So let's look at this situation, Twizz. Drama, as I said, was actually sentenced to 60 months in jail. His release date, it looks like it's April or somewhere around there of 2023. That's legitimately right around the corner. You know what
Right
I'm
around
saying?
the corner.
These guys in Treyway, Shoddy and all them, they really had the streets of New York lit up. Honestly, I think with OBH players, with sturdy guys that are actually focused on the music tip, I think that they could put something major together for Brooklyn, man.
They would, man. If you know what I'm saying, on top of them already making official music, they all solid. They all got some heavy stories. And you know, the streets, the world, we would be looking forward to that. It would be a lot of pain and you know, a lot of things that we need to hear. And I know it's gonna be wrapped all up in the music.
And not to mention, Mullahs will be coming home in 2027.
Free Mullahs, man. Sturdy, sturdy, man. You know, Mullah's the second person from OBH that I had a chance to meet. He's very smart, very humble, man. Thorough, you know what I mean? Business minded, you know what I'm talking about. So definitely free Mullahs. Inshallah, he can get home even before his release date, man. You know, very good, thorough dude, man. Salute the Mullahs.
Yep. So we're ringing off these release dates right here now. You know, Drama set to come home in 2023, Mullahs 2027, and then Shoddy's release date is actually in 2031. So all of these dates are right around one another's. And then we got to take into consideration that throughout all this time, Twizz, Ab is going to be working on his appeal.
Yeah, man, we need that appeal. We need that appeal, man. Like we need that, you know, Ab is like one of the few rappers, people from Philly, besides TV Bay, was another one that was giving people opportunity
Free
and things like that on the music. Free Tiffy too, man. You know what I'm saying? We can't forget about Tiffy. You know what I'm saying? God's willing, he get home ASAP. But, you know, he was one of the few guys that, like, you know, helped people, put people in position, didn't want to keep the limelight on himself, like, you know what I mean? So, and on top of that, you know, he was still a family man. And regardless of how people looked at Ab, you know, most of his music, all of his music was from experience from growing up, just like everybody from every hood. You know, what is ARF going to rap about? You know what I mean? You're going to rap about real life experiences. You know what I mean? Most of us from the streets, we deal with the PTSD and all of that. So it's like, man, either you're going to understand it. If you don't understand it, the music wasn't for you in the first place, man. So we need that appeal. And, you know, God's willing that, you know, it can be some type of petition or something signed for AR where everybody can chip in. Like, you know, we need them type of riots like how it was when Meek Mill was locked up, man. We need to shake the city up. You know what I mean? He need to get up out of there.
So this is the message that I got from Ab in regard to OBH Brooklyn. He said, I'm over here with drama right now. We're going to start an OBH Brooklyn chapter together. I'm working, bro. I'm going to turn OBH Records into a powerhouse. I know it can be. It's all about bringing the men together in every city. I have a plan for the label, and I believe I'm going to see it through if Allah wills. And you know, Twizz, like you said earlier, Ab just still having the confidence and the mindset to actually move forward with his record label and you know, build with some of these guys that he's around, you know what I mean? On a positive note, you know,
Facts.
it shows me how strong of a force he really still can be in the music industry.
Facts. That's big facts right there, Mikey. You already know.
And I know these guys are going to come out on the OBH Brooklyn tip, and they're going to have all these camps. You know what I mean? The 22 Gs, the sniper gangs. They're going to have, you know what I mean? They're going to have the other guys who are out there, you know, the Chef Gs and the Sleepy Hollows, the Uncle Murders and the G units. They're going to have all these dudes out there, the Fetty Wops, Free Casanova. They're going to have all of these other Brooklyn labels really interested in what OBH is doing. And I could see a connection really happening from this because, you know, Brooklyn has it on lock right now, but I would love to see some of the other boroughs lock in too with the OBH movement because I know Queens is doing it big. Harlem is doing it big. Of course, the Bronx.
It would, and just to elaborate on that, let's not forget, like, you know, OBH, they was already networking like out New York, Chicago, and things like that. And you know, a lot of people that's signed right now or got independent deals, you know, they might not want to give certain credit, but you know, like the energy that Ab and OBH had, you know, a lot of people run with that energy up to this day. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, like if you really pay attention, man, you know, you can look back to old from Ab interviews to how he rapped and the things that he talked about. So
Yeah, man. I really appreciate everybody tapping in with us today for this major announcement on OBH. There is hope for 2023, y'all. And 2023 is literally right around the corner. Abba's linked up with the hottest dudes in the street of Brooklyn. And it looks like we got another chapter to look forward to, y'all. OBH Brooklyn, of course, Beanie Sigel, ARAB mixtape. Could it happen in the future if Ab gets his appeal? I'd say so, Twizz.
facts, it will happen. It will happen, and Ab will get that appeal. And you know, God's willing, like I said before, you know, we all know, Mikey, you got direct contact with Ab, and if you know any petitions or anything need to get signed, then we gonna make it happen, man. You know, you know what I'm saying, it's only right, man. We need to get Ab up out of there, man. You know, he in a real unfortunate situation, and he's still in great spirit. You know, he need to get back home to his family, you know what I'm saying, and get back to his business, you know, and get things rolling again.
Yep. And I'm just going to leave this message here, y'all. Like I said, the information to write ARAB will be in the description. Ab had sent me a message and said, yo, bro, I received a bunch of mail from the fans and supporters since you posted my info online. Can you tell them that if they want me to write them back, I can only do it if they send their numbers in the letter so I can hit them back. So tell them I can message them back directly on their email or on their number. I don't send mail off. So everybody who uses the information below to write ARAB, be sure to include an email address or a phone number so Ab can personally text you guys back. I'm going to be saying this at the end of our next few videos, just so everybody who has missed it or anybody who wants to know it has the information, because Ab wants me to get it out to all of y'all. But Twizz, SV Twizz, my guy, Philly is in the building. I definitely appreciate you tapping in with me tonight. I'm Mikey T, the movie star. That's SV Twizz. Everybody, you can follow us. The links to that is in the description. Appreciate y'all.
Stay tuned in. Y'all ready.